Donald Trump's calling our Somali neighbors garbage. And
to our Somali people living here in Minneapolis.
Trump is trying to use the Somalis as a scapegoat for his failing campaign promises.
So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon, I hope. But what Somalia, what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, you know, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country.
The president has always had very bigoted, xenophobic, Islamophobic comments when it comes to people who are of Muslim faith or people who are black. We've seen him call African nations as holes, and so it's not really surprising. But what is weird to me is just how creepy he's been obsessed with me and the Somali community.
Congresswoman, thank you for being with us. The president attacked you personally yesterday, and I want to play more of what he said.
Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain.
Congresswoman, how do you respond to that?
Well, thank you, Anna, for having me. I would say the president's obsession with me and the Somali community is really unhealthy. It's creepy. And I hope that he gets the help that he needs. It sounds like he is trying to deflect from the failures that he's had as president. His immigration rates are not going in the way that he's expected. We know that the tariffs are not working to make life affordable for Americans. We know that he is afraid of what is in the Epstein files as he's fought to be the head of the pedophile protection party. And we know that right now he is being investigated for war crimes that he might have committed when he ordered what seems to be illegal attacks against boats in the Caribbean.
What would you say to the president if he were standing here right now?
Mr. President, we campaign for you. We have hope in you. We see hope in you. Please differentiate between good, bad, and evil.
That's a Somali immigrant who voted for President Trump in 2024, but now Trump is demonizing Somalis in America, specifically here in Minnesota.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
I got 5 children. My children are no garbage. I campaigned for the president in 2024. I actually went out and we reached 50 million people endorsing Trump 7 days before the election.
What drew you to the president?
Because we believed he was an agent of chaos. We couldn't afford anything back then. There was a fentanyl crisis. There was an issue of affordability. The living standards went down. Crime issues. These are 5 very important things to us. And we believe that Trump would be the solution to it. I've been a Republican for over 25 years. I'm not going to stop being a Republican. But what I do know is for a fact is we're getting killed out here because people are saying, we told you so.
The President of the United States is using racist language.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
He is. He's using discriminatory language. He is targeting an entire group in a discriminatory way. Again, and again, and again. And when do we as Americans say being a racist or using hateful racist language is unbecoming of the office of the President of the United States? We need to be able to say that. and we need to be able to say it out loud. But to your point, Whoopi, about is this a distraction? Will his base care about, will they care, or do they care about other things? I mean, if you look at it right now, he also said during this cabinet meeting...
I'm about to just bring that up.
Yeah, because he says affordability is a con job. Is it, though?
Yo, Trump is right. Somalia is the worst country on the planet. I know this on a deeper level because I'm from Kenya, and I know what they do. I know what Al-Shabaab does. And in the comments, I can already predict they're going to say Jareer, they're going to say all these other hidden insults, but it doesn't matter. Your country is cooked. You should get absorbed by Ethiopia and Kenya. We shall take your land and split it in half for ourselves. Somalia is the worst country on earth.
Donald Trump, what he said has to be the biggest eye-opener for all of the Somali expats living in the West. Put things into perspective, I'm a Somali, British-born Somali. Grew up in the UK, London to be precise, and I moved to Hargeisa about a year and a half ago. And it was the best decision I've ever made. Because I've been living here, I'm stress-free, I go about my day, no one says anything to me, this is my country, right? At the end of the day, this is my country. And this is the thing about us immigrants, we get caught up in building other people's countries. If I was an American, I would be straight away thinking about how to get back to Somalia, Somaliland, wherever you come from. Why? Because how are you contributing to a country that sees you that badly? And by the way, Donald Trump is the only one who's actually vocal about it. There's others that think the same thing. That's why I say the least that you can do is build up your own country. And I'm not saying go into politics. You're contributing to your country just by living there. I would just advise my Somali American brothers and sisters, especially those living in Minnesota. Invest in your own land, invest in your own country. Don't waste your efforts on pleasing another man and another country.
2 days ago, Trump called the Somali people garbage. He also referred to Ilhan Omar as garbage as well. We're going to talk about what that means. Trump wasn't just being racist, he was changing the narrative. He was being politically strategic in what he aims to do, and here's how. If I can change how people talk about you, I can change how people see you. By using the word garbage, he plants a seed in the narrative of how people think about Somali people. These people do not belong. These people are not valuable. These people are the problem. Once he controls the narrative, he controls the actions that come after. The word garbage is designed to hit your nervous system first. It activates superiority in some people. It activates fear and danger in the population that's being targeted, the Somali people. It'll activate numbness in people who are bystanding. A dysregulated population, meaning a population whose nervous system has been activated in this way, is easy to manipulate. Now we hear the word garbage and we internalize that word in very different ways. Some people are going to feel justified in mistreating the Somali people. Some people are going to start believing that the policies to ban these people are justified without proof. Some are just going to repeat the language. Some are going to distance themselves socially. Some people are going to distrust their Somali friends and co-workers, people in their community. Some people are going to be scared to speak up and say this is completely abhorrent and horrific. And this is the beginning of collective behavior change towards a group. Now, he doesn't need everyone to go out there and harm Somalis. He needs enough people to be quiet and calm about it, not urgent about it, and kind of in that state of numbness for the system to hype up its harm of the Somali people. I want you to hear me because this is the most critical part of all of this. Now, when he uses the word garbage, he's actually collapsing the public's ability to see the Somali people or to imagine them as fully human. Once people stop imagining the Somali people as fully human, they stop seeing them as parents. They stop seeing them as neighbors. They stop seeing them as teachers. They stop seeing them as community members. They stop seeing them as activists. And they just start to see them as the caricature that has been painted in their brain about them. When we say people are dehumanized, this is what we refer to, the collapse of imagination. Instead, the category by which we see these people flattens. When imagination collapses, empathy goes out the window with it. And that is what makes harm acceptable over time. A collapsed imagination will allow for harsher immigration laws, for a hike in deportations, reduced public backlash, surveillance, increase of it, and political justification for discrimination. It is a tale as old as time. You take Somali people and you implement or put a different group of people who have been equally oppressed, and it always starts like this. I'm going to recap because I want you to remember this, because it's going to happen again, and it's going to be a different group of people. He used one violent word to create a narrative, to control the story. That word shocks the body at different levels and in different ways, depending on where you sit and how you see the world. This then shrinks our collective imagination about the group of people. And then that makes harm look like common sense. This is urgent, and it matters.
It was hurtful, it was shameful, it was disgraceful, but also it was flat out wrong, calling not only our congresswoman garbage, but calling the entire community garbage, saying they're good for nothing. It is a community that has been resilient, that has produced so much. We are teachers and doctors and lawyers and even politicians taking part of every part of Minnesota's economy and the nation's economy. And so right now, this is nothing more than political theater in time for the midterms in which he wants to rally his base. Language matters, and we know that hateful rhetoric and language leads to action. And right now, our community is afraid. We've seen that our president and ICE has overstepped and has consistently and continuously violated our residents' constitutional rights. And what I mean by that is this going far beyond just immigration enforcement. We've seen residents, US citizens, getting detained and released. And so President Trump made it very clear. He said he wants all Somalis gone, not just a category of them, not just the ones he thinks that are bad, but all Somalis. I've heard from our young people, folks that were born in America that have never seen Somalia. In fact, some whose parents were born in America, reaching out to us saying that they're fearful, that they feel like they have to walk around with their passports because they don't want to be targeted. And in America in 2025, that should not be happening.
Let me say this clearly. When someone attacks our community and calls us garbage, this is not just an insult. This is an attack on our humanity, our dignity, and our constitutional right to exist as equals in this country. I am Somali. I am an American. And I am sick and tired of people acting that those two identities cannot live in the same body. In the United States that we all envision, we are nurses caring for the sick. We are teachers teaching the next generation. We are business owners, taxpayers, neighbors. We are human beings who contribute to the very fabric of this nation. So when you single us out, when you try to dehumanize us, understand this. Your words don't just target Somalis. Your words target the idea of America itself. The idea that all humans are equal under the law, equal in protection, equal in dignity, and the right to be treated as a person, not a stereotype. And those rights are afforded to us by the Constitution. So therefore, they are not negotiable. They are constitutional. And let me be even more direct. Somalis are not your enemy. We are not a threat. We are a part of this country and also a part of this community. And we are also a part of the people who help keep this country alive. So I am speaking out today because silence is not an option. Not when people are being dehumanized, not when neighbors are being attacked, and not when my community's humanity is being dragged through the mud. We deserve protection. We deserve respect. And above all else, we deserve the dignity that is afforded to us by the Constitution of this country. Because President Donald Trump, it is not us who chose to be in this country. It was not in our control, and we did not choose. Many of us were born here, and many of us were brought here at a young age. For you to scapegoat a whole community of people for the mistakes of the few, and to call them out, and to put targets on their back, how does that make America great? At what capacity does that improve the lives of the Americans? The hardworking taxpayers, the mothers, the fathers, and the future, the next generation of this great country of ours. Divisiveness is not going to improve the situation of the everyday American. Division within the people of this great country is not going to solve the problems of our nation. It is time for you to call unity, cohesion, respect for one another, not divisiveness. Many of the statements that you are uttering goes against the Constitution that you swore by. So let it be known, scapegoating a community of people who are a minority of a minority, less than 1%, is not going to solve many of the problems that you face as a president today.
Trump calls Somalis garbage. Vice President J.D. Vance banged the table in encouragement. You're damn right, they're garbage. Like, alright guys, if Somalia is just a piece of garbage, why do you keep using my tax money to drop bombs on them? For people who think that Somalia is worthless, you guys sure do spend a lot of time and energy drone striking them.
I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason.
Yeah, maybe one of those reasons is that you keep dropping bombs on them, you idiot. President Trump, let me ask you a question. Do you think that bombing Somalia causes more people to stay there or to flee? I know this is a difficult concept for you to understand, but if you bomb people's homes, then that makes them more likely to leave their homes. Then they come to America where you scapegoat them for all of our problems that are actually being caused by our corrupt government and your Wall Street buddies. You can blame it on Somalis all you want, but you guys are the ones running our country straight into the ground.
These are people that
Calling Somalia a trash country doesn't make it true. Every nation has challenges, including US. But Somalis are strong, united, and hopeful. But respect is a choice, and we choose dignity. We are proud, strong, and full of hope. Your words do not define us.
I gotta do my chores. Time to take out the garbage.
So let's talk about the country that Donald Trump is calling garbage, Somalia. He said all that, but he forgot to say, and now I'm not a historian, so I might be off a year or two, a name or two. But I do know that in the 80s, because I was born in the 80s, I took history when they were really teaching history in school. The U.S. went over and supported Syed Barr, whatever his name was. And he was the current leader of Somalia, who he assassinated the previous president. The U.S. went over there and supported him and used Somalia as a pawn against Russia because where it was located, okay? Now, civil unrest took place and they assassinated him. And all the fuck shit that he did is because U.S. supplied him with a lot of his shit, okay? And when I cuss, because I'm breaking it down into layman's term, all right? So, the U.S. started an operation because once he was assassinated, Somalia, all these different little groups popped up, and the country was a mess. The U.S. started a program around, like, I think in like 92. Anywho, withdrew in like 94. And that's why people with a heart and a conscience and with a clear mind and with any faith in God gave Somalians refuge over here if they could make it, because the U.S. was a part of the destruction of the country. Now, how come President Trump didn't talk about that?
Donald Trump's calling our Somali neighbors garbage and the state of Minnesota a hellhole is, I'm assuming, is unprecedented for a United States president. We've got little children going to school today who their president called them garbage. This shouldn't be that difficult of trying to conflate. Look, we see it here. If you commit crimes, you go to jail. Doesn't matter what your race is, what your ethnicity, religion. But demonizing the entire group of people by their race and their ethnicity, a very group of people who contribute to the vitality, economic, cultural of this state, is something I was hoping we'd never have to see. This is on top of all of the other vile comments. So let's be very clear. This should be easy to differentiate. You should very easily be able to say, we need to continue to work together. If there's crime, whether it's white, black, who cares, but to be able to condemn this. So I would just be very clear on this. Anyone in this state, especially elected officials, who are unable to condemn this vile attack on our neighbors in our state, you are complicit in it. And it will not stand in Minnesota.
Trump, bro. Literally every day, you outdo yourself with the bullshit that spews out of your mouth. Referring to any group of people, any group of human beings as garbage, bro. Bro, you're fucking garbage. You didn't earn shit, bro. Your dad gave you a small loan of $1 million. God, this fucking dude is a joke. And all y'all that voted for this motherfucker, y'all are a joke too. Fuck all y'all, respectfully.
Maybe this is expected from Trump, and I would like to tell y'all this is not just about Somalis. He had been referring to the whole East Africa, and it's sort of a global foreign policy disguised as an insult. Western countries have, mastered a very old strategy: devalue the people, covet the resources, control the narrative, and it works every time. Now, we can also acknowledge, yes, some immigrants do bring challenge. Sometimes there are, problems, and yes, not every story is perfect. But why do we have to generalize an entire group or an entire community as if they're all the same? When one African makes a mistake, the West says, especially in their country, see, they're all the same. They're all like that. When one Westerner steals an entire continent, they say that was history.
To our Somali people living here in Minneapolis and in Minnesota, we love you. We stand with you. For decades now, you have made our city and our state a better place. We understand the great contributions that you have made to the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis. And we have heard reports recently that the federal government is looking to deploy upwards of 100 agents focused on immigration, targeting our Somali community. And the bottom line is this: we stand firm and rock solid with the Somali people here in Minneapolis. We stand against hate and we stand up for love. We know the wonderful contributions that you have made to this city. We also know that of the 80,000 plus people, Somalis, that are here in the state of Minnesota, almost all of them are here legally. Almost all of them are citizens. So here's an important fact that a whole lot of people are missing right now. We're talking about American citizens. And so to the extent any federal agency is looking to terrorize the people of our city, the answer is quite simple. We stand with our immigrants. We stand with the Somali community. We stand with Latino people. We stand with anyone that is looking to make Minneapolis their home and are proud to be here.
So the President of the United States just called the entire Somali population garbage and just said on national television to send them back to their country. like, what the fuck is going on anymore? I've seen people make excuses saying like, oh, he can get away with this because he's funny. That shit is not fucking funny, bro. Like, the man whole ass said the word stinky. He said that they were fucking stinky. Like, I don't even know what the fuck. You are the president of the United States. Why the fuck is this even acceptable? It's fucking disgusting, and it just shows the direction that we're headed as a country.
Did you hear Trump call the Somali people garbage? Now, you know, that's racist. But I got two Howard alums who are friends of mine who would defend Trump. Not because they think the Somali people were garbage. No. It's because they believe Trump, who has a few black friends, can't be racist.
Guys, what's y'all's president's beef with Somalia? Why he got beef with the country of Somalia and its people? Like, the Somalians are literally just minding their business, and y'all's president just decided to talk about them in his cabinet meeting today. Like, and being so insulting and so degrading to these people. How you going to look at the people and say it's barely even a country? It's not even a country for real. And then gonna say the people come basically from hell, and then they come to this country and don't do anything but bitch and moan. This guy is something else. He is so vile, so unpresidential, so uncouth. He lacks manners, lacks respect, lacks decorum. How you the president and you just like no diplomacy. You just like straight down talk a whole nother nation, belittle and disrespect a whole nother nation of people, and then go in on Tim Walz over there in Minnesota, because apparently they have a pretty sizable Somalian population. Representative Ilhan Omar lives in Minnesota, and this guy is just like choosing violence. I just know the people of Somalia are like, how we get in this? How did we get in this? Because I'm trying to figure out what they have to do with anything. This man really he really has to attack black and brown people. There are no Caucasian immigrants stirring up trouble. There are no illegal immigrants from European countries. That's suspicious.
Trump is trying to use the Somalis as a scapegoat for his failing campaign promises. You cannot scapegoat an entire community for the failings of your administration. There are more than 80,000 Somali community members in Minnesota. They work very hard. They do all kinds of jobs, nurses, home care, all kinds of things, students, professionals. Scapegoating an entire community, a marginalized community, is as old as in America. Nonetheless, Trump promised that he will tackle inflation, reducing inflation. He will bring peace into the Middle East. He will release Epstein files. However, the MAGA movement knows that he failed in all of them. And they're not happy with that. Inflation is up. Netanyahu is doing whatever he wants in the Middle East, bombing any other country. Trump is begging Netanyahu to stop bombing Syria. Billions of dollars have been sent to Argentina farmers, while American farmers got nothing. The national debt is up and increasing. MTJ already resigned. So the MAGA movement knows that Trump has failed to fulfill his campaign promises. So the fracture in MAGA movement and in the base cannot be solved by scapegoating an entire community. And Trump already knows that his grip on the Republican Party is loosening up. And scapegoating an entire community will not solve the crisis facing America. We need leaders who solve the problems that America is facing right now.
It's a privilege. Yes, when somebody open their doors to you and say, come and live in my house, that the same way they open the door, they also have the right to kick you out. It's not a right, it's a privilege. You are not African American. You were refugees. You were refugees. Even your children born here can be deported. Because the citizenship law was not passed for you. It was passed for the African American and their ancestors and their children. So you and I, having it is a privilege, it's not a right. But where you forgot all of that. You came into the country, you live on free food, free home, free education. Meanwhile, the Black American who fought for it suffered. They suffered. They hardly get the opportunity that you get. But in return, what do? You turn around and shout, Allahu Akbar. You shout you want to bring Somalia to America. If you love Somalia that much, why don't you ask for voluntary repatriation? The UN can repatriate you to Somalia, any part of Somalia you want, and go fight and make Somalia a better place. But like I said, we immigrants will not be silent. We will speak against you. And for those from the Middle East, other Middle Eastern refugees will stand up. But I will say this, you Somalis have become an embarrassment for us Africans living in the U.S. You Somalis have embarrassed us Africans living in the U.S. You have embarrassed every other refugees from Africa that is living here on temporary status. Do you ignore that countries went through war and they granted them temporary status and they've been living here? Do you understand? When was the last time you saw Guinean trying to bring Guinea culture to America? When was the last time you saw Liberians, Sierra Leone, and Ivorians trying to bring their country culture over here to impose it on American? We don't. Only you, Somali, do. Only you believe that you must overthrow the government of America and turn America into Somalia and turn America into Islamic country. And for you, Omar, I pray you get deported, you and your brother. I pray that both of you get deported, and I pray you two be the first. And I appreciate the Trump administration for suspending the temporary protection status for all Somalis. And I'm glad that they did not say all. I'm glad that President Trump did not say everyone on temporary protection status.
Hi, good morning. In an interesting turn of events, Donald Trump said something out of pocket yesterday during his cabinet meeting. So to just add to the laundry list of names he calls people and gross things that he says, he called Ilhan Omar and Somalians garbage. The President of the United States. Garbage! The audacity. The fact that he can treat other human beings, other U.S. citizens, other people in general this way and get away with it on a near daily basis disgusts me to a degree that I can't fully articulate. This man is the poorest representation of our country ever. It's disgusting.
Breaking news, Somalia has responded on Trump remarks. So this is after Trump called Somalia garbage, that they are stinky, that they need to go back to their own country. He continued saying that Somalia, they don't contribute anything in USA. They just stay there and make the country worse. He said that there is a reason why Somalia is like that and the reason why they are running away from their own country, and he don't want them. So Somalia has responded, and they're saying that people, they are making big deal out of this, that this is Trump. Trump has insulted different countries in Africa like South South Africa, Nigeria. This is not a big deal, and we are not going to make a big deal out of this. Can you imagine this? After being called garbage, and you are okay with this. So Somalia, they say that they are okay with that, and they are not going to make a big deal out of it. Somalia, they have been blocked from USA. They cannot apply for a visa or even a green card. USA, they don't want Somalia anymore. So it seems like Somalia, they are going to go back to Kenya. So there is a lot of Somalians in Kenya, and they are welcome in Kenya. But they have to change because they've been doing a lot of different things, very bad things in Kenya, but they are all welcome in Kenya.
So, guys, what just happened in America? I mean, President Trump has come out with full force and called a very bad word to the Somali community. And I think in our next video, we will be doing the cause. What really made Trump talk the way he talked about Representative Ilhan Omar and the Somali community in general. So, my good people, the Somali community have come out in large numbers to condemn what the president said. They are not happy, as you can see. They are not in a way that they really appreciate his words. Because remember, the Somali community were outside there. Actually, they were campaigning for President Trump to win the seat, and then now he's turning against them. So some people are saying that the reason as to why he is coming out that bitter, it's because, you know, he has failed to achieve what he promised the people of America. The taxes, they're not helping them. Whatever thing he promised the Americans, he has not fulfilled any of it. And now he's taking all the frustrations to the Somali community. And as you can see, leaders have come out. They are condemning whatever he's doing because they know it's not right. The mayors have come out, governors have come out, and they have condemned his racist speech. And actually, some Americans, I will call them MAGA supporters, they are making satire videos of this particular statement by President Donald Trump. And I can tell you, of course, it's not something that you can be happy about. And as you all know, Somalia has been struggling for so long, and America has been part of what or how or what the Somali as a country is going through at the moment. So it's unfortunate and sad to hear that the president of America is coming out to say boldly, confidently, and in the public eye that he does not want them in America, that he wants the Somali community out of America. I mean, that was so wrong of him to do that as a leader, of course. And from the videos that we just listened, so many people have come out with very, they have come out with comments and opinions that really make sense, and it makes us to understand what really happened. You know, this representative Ilhan Omar is a very confident rep from the Minneapolis community that is full of the Somali community also. And as you can see, even the mayor, I think they elected a mayor, very young, brilliant, confident guy that is really advocating for Somali community. And some people are like, you know, they are so many in Kenya, they should go there, they should go back to their country that they consider to be safe because their country is not safe. But guys, people are forgetting that what is making Somalia unsafe is the invasion of America and the superpower countries. They have resources outside there. So as much as the president is saying that the Somali community is not contributing anything, and yet they are getting so much from welfare programs in America. At the same time, in Somalia, the government of America are really benefiting from the resources outside there in Somalia, and they're not contributing anything to the people of Somalia. So it's a two-way traffic at the end of the day. Anyway, thank you so much. If you watched the clip up to this point, I appreciate your presence. I'll see you in the next video.